So start with defenseless receivers. All right. And this is something that we're really inconsistent on. It'll be a point of emphasis at the clinic. But we just really need to the rule is written in such a way that's very restrictive for the defense. And we just need to be more consistent with how we enforce this rule. So, oh, speaking I've not heard anything from the rule about the rule books. Maybe by June 1, maybe. Who knows? But I've not heard anything about that. Defenseless player. So a player vulnerable to injury because of physical position and focus of concentration. The player initiating contact against a defenseless receiver is responsible for making the contact legal. All right. So the one that's doing the contacting has to protect who they're contacting. All right. And it's kind of antithesis to the way football kind of has always been for 100 years, but this is the way it is now. All right. So questions to ask. Was it unavoidable? So again, the defender has a right to the ball, right? It's the exact same right as the offense. So there can be unavoidable contact if they both jump up into the air to catch the ball. If he's playing the ball, making a play on the ball, then that can be unavoidable. Did he initiate with open hands? So that's very similar to what? Blindside block, right? Open hands. Or did he wrap up the tackle? And this is the one that gets a little squirrely sometimes for us, okay? When in question, the player is defenseless. So, little friendly chart here. All right, so passer. Is passer defenseless? Yes. But is he allowed to be contacted? Yes, until he gets to Sunday, right? Then he's no longer allowed to be contacted. But on Friday nights, he can be contacted. So if there's no foul, if it's legal and it's not late, all right? And we don't have anything below the knees, right? We don't have that rule, all right? So they can get hit in the knees, in the pocket, and you will get yelled at about it. And you just tell them, this is Friday, all right? When they make millions of dollars, then they'll get protected. A receiver attempting to catch a pass, all right? I.e. not a runner. Fix that. Is contact allowed? Yes. Okay. Is an intended receiver during or immediately following an interception or potential interception? Yes. Okay. If it's not illegal helmet contact or not targeting, then again, if as long as it's not late and it's not unavoidable, then it's legal. Are you allowed to contact a runner in the grasp of a tackler and forward progress has been stopped?
No.
No. Why not? Because the play is what? Ball's dead, right? So is that a live ball or dead ball foul? Dead ball foul. Yep. A kickoff/punt returner attempted to catch or recover a kick or has caught a kick but not clearly a runner. All right, so if the kick is in flight, are they able to be contacted? No. What is that? Catch interference. Yes. If it's a recovered kick, and when I say recovered kick, what does that mean? It's hit the ground and they've got it, right? So that could be a punt that hits the ground, or it could be an onside kick, or a completed catch or recovery, no foul. But there's a time gap in there, right? I can have the ball in my hands, but not clearly become a runner, right? There's about a second or two in there, right, where you're transitioning, okay? And so while I'm transitioning from that receiver to that runner, I'm protected because I'm still defenseless. So I've not had a chance to change my focus and concentration to what's around me. I'm still focused on the ball. A player on the ground, including the runner who's sliding feet first. Can you contact them? No. Is this a live ball or a dead ball foul? No. Is it when he starts to slide or when he's actually on the ground? When he's on the ground, all right? So when they think they're fancy and they're going to slide really late, guess what? They're not protected, all right? So if I slide into Doug's feet right in front of Doug and he falls on me, whose fault is that? My fault. It's my fault. Player obviously out of the play, not near the runner. Can they be contacted? No. Is this a live ball or dead ball foul? Okay, it could be both, right? It could be one or the other depending on the status of the ball, right? But if I'm 40 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards away, and I'm not any threat to that runner, can you just come up and just hit me? No, you cannot. So when there's an interception and the quarterback's not going to make the tackle, and that defensive lineman comes and gets him, what do we have? You got a personal foul. Personal foul. So when you work Camden and they're on defense, be prepared. Oops. Player receiving a blindside block with forcible contact, not with open hands. Okay, so what is that? It's an illegal blindside block. All right. Their Wi-Fi is running a little slow today, I think. All right, so we got a passer running around. All right, so is that defender playing the ball?
Seems like he's playing the minutes. That angle. It looks like he went up with his shoulders.
That's borderline, right? I mean, is that really? Is that forceful? Does that look violent? No, no. He was jumping up, and then the receiver crosses in front of him. You know, that's not what we think of, right? That's not a lowering of the shoulder into the midsection or the head or neck area, right? So I would not call that personally. I think that's a good no call there on that one. Oh, well, we'll see some.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me fix this. Yeah, their internet's being slow. I noticed our internet was slow today, Rico. We might have to come back to that one. Oh. Yeah, I guess technically it's over the middle, I guess. Let's see if that speeds it up.
Crouch down. That crouch position. Yeah. Video doesn't play.
No, their internet's being slow. Oh, the next one's not playing either. So there we go. Pleasure.
Come do it.
You going to demonstrate for us?
Well, I tell you what. I'm going to work, okay?
It was first, it did play the video, did play.
Played on the first one, but I noticed when I loaded it up today, it was super slow.
Sean Goods if Denver wanted to see it again.
There we go.
Hey, thanks, brother.
All right, so here's another example here. All right, so yeah, so that's what that's what we're looking for, right? Well, they get a.
Oh, is that reviewable?
Yeah. So is he playing the ball?
No.
So this is not unavoidable. Is there open hands? No. Yeah. Well, that's targeting, right? That's targeting. It's the head and neck area, right? All right. So he's defenseless. He's an intended receiver. And yeah, he saw it the last second, but no, he can't protect himself there, right? So that's, and he didn't wrap him up, right? So he didn't do any of the three things that would make this legal. Come on. Come on.
He's like some old man.
Mm-hmm.
We can see sharp. Too far. It's such a game.
Have to go out each one. We may have to come back to the videos here. We may have to come back. Again. Table. Yeah. Again, so he's not playing the ball, right? I mean, he played the man. You can tell when they go for the ball, right? And when they go for the man. I don't remember.
Alan? Remember? Not by many.
Let's say man crew, he shouldn't be throwing his flag on that one. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a pin.
Yeah.
Again, he's not,
Oh, there's.
he didn't play the ball, right? No. And it wasn't with open hands. And he didn't wrap him up. So that's a foul each and every time. Just skip ahead a little bit. So we got an interception, right? So there's a change of possession, but that intended receiver is still what? Still defenseless, right? So he doesn't, just because they intercept it doesn't mean that he's no longer defenseless. So you have to know when you throw this flag, you have to know what?
Get the ball.
Who had the ball, right? Which team had the ball, right? Because that's all, that is the most important. That's not, for me, I need to know, was it before or after the interception? Because if it's after the interception, then they got the ball with what? Clean hands. So then they get to keep the ball, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So he, so he's got that's interception. And then he gets him in the head, right? The next guy comes in, right? So for us, that is clean hands, targeting, and that's going to be enforced from where? Spot of the foul, right? Because it's behind the basic spot, right? Which the basic spot would be the end of the run in this case, right? Do we care where the interception occurred at on the spot on the field? Do we throw a bloom beanbag when there's a turnover? No, we do not. All right. Do we care where the spot of the interception was? We don't throw bloom beanbags for change of possessions.
No.
Yes. No. Yes.
It's not a running play.
No. So it becomes a running play when the interception occurs. Yes. So you have to see the foul, know what it is, throw the flag, and then know the status of the ball at the time that foul occurred. All right. And then I have to go explain to the coach why he's not getting the foul enforced and keeping the ball. The offense, the team that threw the interception, he's going to want the ball because that's what they fouled. No, it was after the interception. I have to explain that to him. Hmm. That speeds it up. So if he had done what, he would have been okay. What did he need to do? Wrap him up or open hands? Yeah, open. Yeah, yeah. But he didn't do that, right? He gets him where? All right, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so he had a couple of options there, but he chose none of them, right? Mm-hmm.
You don't think that was incidental with both running toward the ball?
Does he go for the ball or for the player? Yeah, I mean, he gets him in the head and neck. Remember, this is a safety issue, right? So we're going to err on what? Safety side. All right. He's got two options. He's got two other options. He can go open hands or he can wrap him up. Yeah, and he didn't do either one of them. All right, so this one looks really violent, but let's look at this again. So is he playing the ball? He's playing the ball, right? Look at number one. He thinks he's getting an interception, and then he gets hit in the midsection. Look at it. Look at what are you looking at? He's going to get the ball.
It looks bad.
Yeah, so it looks really violent, right? It looks bad, but he's playing the ball, right? He's not targeting that receiver. He's playing the ball. And that's the difference. And that's where this whole angles thing comes into play, right? So the wing official on the sideline is just going to see the collision, right? Hopefully the back judge sees that his hands were like this, trying to catch the ball coming across, and that's where you have to have that discussion. So what does it look like? What should it look like? Like that, right? He wrapped him up. Look at that. But when we talk about wrapping him up, it's still a physical hit, right? Still a good hit. But that's protecting both players in this case. All right. Any questions about that? All right. Are y'all ready to try the Kahoot today?
Wait a minute. I had a question. Gary?
Says action law.
Hold on, let me get back over here. Pin number is 405 0 0599. 405-0599 on the PIN number. You got the app open, Ted? Okay.
It's good at food.it.
All righty. So a catch requires, now you got 20 seconds now. Okay. So let's,
Zero. I have fine cool bird.
Tell me. I'm smarter, fifth graders coming back. Oh, and two of us playing.
so a catch requires what? Possession of a ball in flight, right? That's a catch, right? Contact in the ground with 1 foot or another body part. And then maintaining possession upon contacting the ground with said body part. All right. So we don't need 2 feet. We don't need to maintain possession after we fall to the ground. Nope. And we don't need to be making a football move, 2 steps, 3, none of that garbage, right? It's ball in flight, you possess it, i.e. you control it, you contact with 1 body part, and then you maintain that. So when your foot lands and you've got the ball, we have a catch. Yes.
You want me to write it there? That white one scary. It's down in the. It's on the screen.
405 0599. That's question 1A. All right, next one. True or false? Blocking the back may be or may not, or may be legal. Clipping is never legal. Why are we saying the answers?
Go. Stop.
What
You said the answer.
Well, the association of dog.
All right.
I'm gonna start finding y'all
Yeah.
being stupid.
Well, now, hold on. First, you gotta get the person right. That's the first thing you gotta do. If you're gonna start.
Hall of Fame, so I just take the dollar for both of them. Don't sit down.
All right. Next one. What field marking determines what type of conference a team is holding? What field marking determines what type of conference a team is holding?
Oh. I got it.
All right. So, right, the 9-yard marks or yard line numbers. Or if you had a 1A game, whatever chalk they have somewhere off the side. Okay? All right? Okay? Whatever dead grass spots there, just say that's it. Okay? Yeah. All right. True or false? A down starts when the ball becomes live and ends when the ball becomes dead unless an inadvertent whistle occurs.
Oh, you wait for that?
Waiting for it to see. See.
A down starts when the ball becomes live and ends when the ball becomes dead unless an inadvertent whistle occurs. Does an inadvertent whistle kill the down?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So this is false, right? It's false. You're right. Yeah. What does the question say? This is a true false question. Guess what you're going to see in 8 weeks? That right there. And if you can't you got to read it, right? You got to read it. Y'all know this. You know this, but you got to read it. Exactly. It's written as a false statement. It's a true, all you know what I did?
It's true until he gets in.
I changed like 2 words in it. I just took the sentence and changed 2 words. I made it false. Yeah, that's all I did. A down starts when the ball becomes live and ends when the ball becomes dead, period, unless an inadvertent whistle occurs. And that's false. That makes it false. Yeah. Because when an inadvertent whistle occurs, what happens to the down? It ends the down. It ends down. Yeah.
That's what you've been.
True or false? A substitute can be guilty of encroachment.
I'm gonna have to spend my dollar.
How can a substitute be guilty of encroachment? To be guilty of encroachment, what do you have to be on the field? On your side, right? And when do you become a player? When you get to your side. So when we're down to the goal line and they realize, oh, we got to get the 300-pound nose tackle in there for this goal line defense. And he starts running and he's going. He's not going to be guilty of encroachment until he gets where? On his side. Now, is he going to get to his side? Probably not. Probably not. So, but why is this important?
Well, that's a dead ball foul.
No, it's not.
Encroachment.
Well, encroachment is a dead ball foul, but what is he going to be guilty of? If he's illegal substitution, which is a live ball, and it's a player or a non-player foul? Non-player foul. And that determines your basic spot, right? So if you're non-player, your basic spot is right. Okay. So that's why this is important. So
Could be a dead ball.
could be. Yeah. Yeah. But in that scenario we just gave, it's not.
Right.
All right.
I got it.
All right. So we'll set this aside. We'll come back to this. We're gonna have an award for at the banquet for who gets the high scores. All right. Illegal helmet contact and targeting. So we touched base on defenseless receiver, right? Does targeting only occur on defenseless players? No. Okay. Is targeting an automatic ejection? No. But it is an ejection if we deem it to be what? Yes. Yes. So illegal helmet contact. So butt blocking is when any player who initiates contact against an opponent who is not a runner with the front of their helmet. Okay. Face tackling is when a defensive player who initiates contact against a runner with the front of their helmet. We don't really see a lot of these two, right? It's not something we normally see. Kids are afraid, they move their heads, right? But we do see the spearing, right? As any player who initiates contact against an opponent at the shoulder or below with the crown of their helmet. So what's the crown of the helmet? The top, right? All right. And who does this protect?
Both players.
Really, it protects the player that's doing the contacting. All right. Because you hit your crown of your helmet like this, your spine just kind of crinkles. All right. And it crinkles. All right. So, and if it's flagrant, it's an ejection. All right. Referees. What's the difference in the signal between illegal helmet contact and targeting? Targeting is the personal foul, and then that. Whereas illegal helmet contact is just that. All right. Same. Yeah. There's no penalty enforcement. There's just a signaling difference from that standpoint. So, player initiates contact against an opponent above the shoulder. So for targeting, it has to be where? All right. Right, above the shoulders. Okay. Illegal helmet contact is where? Below the shoulders. All right. So helmet, forearm, hand, fist, elbows, shoulders. Okay. All right. So basically, if you get them upside the head or neck area, then it's, so the helmet slap that they, had to, for whatever reason, decided to make the rule change. Well, we already knew this was a foul, right? Because if I'm an offensive lineman and we're running a screenplay and Demery's the defensive tackle and he's coming through and I just take my hand and slap Demery upside the back of the head, what is that? It's targeting. Yeah. I mean, it's a helmet slap, but it's targeting because I've used my hand to initiate contact above the shoulders. Right? Okay.
That's true. It's still punching into by that start.
So is this receiver, has he become a runner by this point?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. He's a runner,
According to the defense.
but can you do that with your helmet? No, you can't do that. No. Spearing is exactly, yeah. But it doesn't matter, right? Because yeah, he's no longer defenseless, but that contact is still not legal. Well, we don't have launching in the rule books. We're not going to talk about that. So we don't have it. Yeah, we don't. All right. So first thing we have to know on this play is what? Catch or no catch, right? That's number one. So we got possession of the ball in the flight. We got a foot down. We got a catch, right? And now we got a hard hit. So we've got, what is the result of this play? A fumble. Right, it's a fumble. Recovered by the defense. But now we've got this action by the linebacker, right? And so we have to determine what? Was this illegal helmet contact or not? Okay. And we got a bunch of different angles. Is it really clear cut? No, it's really not. You know, maybe the head might be the side. You know, it might have been shoulder, mostly shoulder. It's hard to tell, right? Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah. You can't look at just the receiver's react or the runner's reaction, right? Because I can get hit really hard in the chest and my head snap back. All right, we've all seen that, right? I get hit hard in the chest, my head goes. So you can't watch, you can't go, oh, my head went back, you got hit in the head. No, you've got to see where that contact point is by the defender on to that player.
That's shoulders.
All right, so first of all, as a receiver, yep, okay. Now he's a runner. So the question is he below or above the shoulder, right? And where is the initial? Where's the force of the contact at?
Chest.
Right. So from the wing, it's going to look what? Probably to the chest, right? To the back judge, he's going to see what? He's going to see that last snap, that last one we just saw, the helmet going. No, he's going to see the helmet going into the face mask. So you got to trust each other on this one, right? All right, and you got to have that conversation and be like, I saw, you know, Alan might go, I saw it in the chest. Skip might go, no, I saw the helmet go into the face mask. And we're going to err on what? Safety on this one, right? So now, so we get a live ball personal foul, and then we get what? Dead ball personal foul, unsportsmanlike, right? We get dead ball unsportsmanlike, and I think they're B's 26. So now, come on up here, Dave. All right, so we're gonna go. Come on, we got 2 fouls we got to do here now.
Stick out a bunch of fingers.
All right, no, we're not doing it. No, because we're at the 26. We're B's 26. So we're gonna go half the distance, right?
Right.
Half the distance.
13.
And then we're going to go down to the 13, and then we're going to do what again? And we're going to go down to the 6.5. And we're going to go to the 6.5 because we're inside the 10s, right? Okay. All right. No, it's just enforcement Yeah. So this is a hard one, right? Hey, there's a hard one here.
Wow.
Again, I don't have a close shot of this one, so, but it looks bad, but does that mean it's bad? No. It's probably shoulder to shoulder. Probably shoulder to shoulder, but I don't have a close up on that. But they all come over there, right? They talk about it because again, we have two different angles, and maybe the referee might have an angle, but that wing and that back judge are going to have two different angles on this play, right? The wing's got the runner in front of him, and who's the back judge have in front of him? The defender, right? So it's two different views. Okay. All right, so the umpire gets this one. And the umpire and maybe the back judge are the only two that will see this. So he slides, but he's not defensive until he gets on the ground, right? All right, so that's kind of a terrible slide. But watch this V angle of it. So what does he do? What does that defender do? He puts his head down and hits him in the head, right? And the umpire got it. The umpire got it. Neither wing is probably going to see that, right? You're just not. I mean, Alan, you're looking across the field straight. The guy sliding down. You're not going to see that. But the umpire, back judge, get that. Good job, Bill. That's your game. You notice that you just have fine looking specimen out there shading? Yeah. All right. So the point hits the ground. Does that excuse the defender from? No. Yeah, right. He still has things he has to do, right? So this is recovery or punt. Although he's the ground, he's still in a defenseless position, right? Trying to recover that. Yeah. And so he drops his head, hits him right in the face. Yeah. So now we get a nice little, so that is a nice little diagram of what that 6 inches on the helmet looks like, right? Yeah. That's what it looks like. And that's the position that they do when they use the helmet like that. All right. So the kick ends where? So did this foul occur during the kick or after the kick? Because that matters, right? Yeah.
That's so close in real time.
So now, when we say that the foul occurred after the kick ended, now this has become what type of play? Running play. And so I'm going to ask you, did the kick end or not? And you have to tell me. And if you say you don't know, I'm going to sigh. And I'm going to sigh and say 15 yards first down. That's what I'm, yeah. All right. So we get a blitzing linebacker on the passer, right? And the passers, they're special. Okay. So there's special rules for them, right? So if you have an illegal helmet contact foul against the passer or targeting against the passer, and they throw a legal forward pass, now we have not just a 15-yard foul, right? Right. So is this late? No, it's not late. No. But the problem is, it's illegal helmet contact, right? So it's an incomplete pass, roughing the passer. So we're gonna do what with it? 15 in the previous spot, automatic first down.
Appreciate you, brother. Oh, gosh.
So when this happens, right? The wing official is going to have what? The spot. What do the other four of us have to do? We've got to go get there, right? We've got to go get that. We got to get there. All right.
Especially when it's done like that.
You got it. Because you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
Oh, gosh.
So he's not defenseless, or he's not down until he's on the ground, right? Well, that's borderline. But that helmet, that hit is definitely illegal. So I'm going to probably call this a dead ball foul. Because it's so close to him being down. But in high school, you could make an argument. But then the other four of us have got to get over there and separate all that stuff. All right. All right, here's another. And these quarterbacks, right? When they run, they think they're protected. But so he slides. Okay, so he's not down there, right? No, he's still alive. He still gets it, right? Play is not in. I mean, the down is not ended. Now he's down. And if the defender had just stood there and kind of fallen on him, we wouldn't have anything, right? But when he makes an effort to drop his head and to do that, then that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But these are hard, right? Because we don't want to give a cheapy one. And these quarterbacks slide really late because that's what they see. That's what they see. Yeah. Punt. All right, so we got a lot for the back there to do on this one, right? So what is the result of this play? When the down ended, what is the result of this play? Does this take away? Let's take away the contact. Kicking team had the ball, right? So if R had touched the kick, K would have recovered, right? All right. If R had not touched the kick, then the ball would just be dead. First touching, dead at the spot there, right? And then the down has ended when K gets it, right? Because the kick has never ended, right? So that's number one for the back judge, okay? And now he's got to deal with this other thing that's happened. So do we need a fair catch signal for KCI? No, we don't. Does it matter how late it is? Not in this case.
Yeah.
Not in this case, right? Doesn't matter, right? So the kick ends there. All right. The down ends there. What's the enforcement for KCI? What can we do? What do we get? We can go 15 from the previous spot, or awarded fair catch, 15 from there. Or if Florida had picked the ball up and run for a touchdown, you would get a choice on the try.
No,
On the try, because the change of possession had not occurred. Right? All right. So because another player obviously would have picked it up and run it back, you know. So those are all things to process through on that type of stuff. But don't. And then if we give them an awarded fair catch, what does that mean they can do in terms of ball placement? Anywhere. And if we were on K's 35, we can give them the awarded fair catch, and they get 15 yards, they may decide to do what? Free kick to try 3 points, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. And when we do an awarded fair catch, if during the next down, if there's a foul and we replay said down, those options remain. Those options. So don't forget the awarded fair catch part of that. If we do the 15.
Now, the option would remain to respot the ball, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So
Yeah. All options remain. Yep. Yep.
I do the free kick.
All right. But again, this last play here, but I just want to emphasize, not every big hit is illegal. All right. You got a little quarterback running, and you got a defensive end running full speed. It's going to look bad, right? But where does the contact initiate it at? His head's off to the side. It's in the shoulder. All right. So it looks really bad. And there's going to be a lot of people yelling at you. But unless we clearly see where the contact is initiated, we can't call it. All right. Sometimes we just can't call it. All right.
Do you have 15?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Only if he comes all the way onto the field, will you get that. Other contact situations. So are there free blocking restrictions on K? Yeah. All right. They cannot initiate a block until the kick has traveled 10 yards, or they're eligible to recover said free kick. And when are they eligible to recover a free kick? Or it's touched it, or it's gone 10 yards and hit the ground, or R initiates the block. Okay. So that's the rule. So now we get a surprise onside kick. And so what is K going to do? K wants to clear out that line, right? All right. So the question is, when K made the block, because it doesn't say K's restricted from blocking, right? It doesn't say they're restricted from blocking in the neutral zone. They are restricted from blocking. So when he makes that block, where's the ball? Is K eligible to recover it? And so who's going to know if K is eligible to recover? And that would be who? Line judge, right? No, linesman. Yeah, linesman. And who's going to see the block?
Hopefully the back.
The umpire, back judge, right? Because the linesman needs to be what? Locked in on the ball, because we have to know the status of the ball before we can know if this is a foul, right? So if you can't tell me the status of the ball, i.e., was K eligible to recover it, then can we enforce a foul? No. I got to have question number 1 answered before I can do number 2. All right. So the linesman's got to be locked in on that and know if K is eligible to recover that ball or not. And then we can get the foul. Now, I expect my umpire and my back judge to throw a flag. Yeah, you can't assume, right? So you got to throw your flag. And then when I come up there, I'm like, all right, was K eligible to recover that ball at the time of the block? And that's when my linesman needs to say, no. Linesman needs to go, yes, they were eligible. Then we pick the flag up. And then, no, they were not eligible. Then we enforce the foul. Yes, Sam.
Just to help me. When you come up and your crew members tell you that R has the ball, it's their ball.
Okay.
And that's what they tell.
Okay.
Are you going to ask those questions?
Well, so this was a foul during a free kick down.
Now, there's no flag.
There's no foul. Well, then, I mean, we can't throw it late. I mean, even if K had the ball, if we have like a 30-second discussion and then we drop a flag.
Are you going to ask the question? They just give you that information. Are you going to start asking?
It depends who I'm with.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends who I'm with. Yeah, it's going to depend, sir. When I look at my linesman, I'm like, no, I'm good. Nope. First down. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thought process on that. Yeah. All right, here's another one, right? So because when this is going to happen? Onside kicks, right? This is when this is going to happen. Yeah. All right, so now who initiates what? They're both they're both running at him, right? Yeah. I mean, so if you can't clearly tell who initiates it, then we don't have anything. In this case, that they did we got one group coming up and they're all just kind of blocking each other, right? So there's nothing there, right? Yeah, nothing there. And they managed to recover it. Come on. This is what can't happen. These are hard to get right, but I can't, this is not our game, but I can't explain to our coach how we did or did not get this right when we have these mechanics. Right. Like I can't help you, right? So you gotta do what? You just gotta stay on the line. There's nowhere for you to go. You got two people back here, right? We can handle it. Now they're in 7-man crew, but in a 5-man crew, so you just have to stay on the line, right? So the linesman just got to stay and just hold it because as soon as when it's a surprise onside kick that gets you every time, right? Yeah, it gets you every single time. Helping the runner. Are we seeing this more and more?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. No offensive player shall push, pull, or lift the runner to assist forward progress. Must aid forward momentum. Okay. So, and it's a 5-yard penalty. So it's direct assistance to the runner. All right. So can you push the pile? Yeah. It's direct assistance to the runner. And when did we see this at? Goal line. So we get they're lifting him off the ground, right? When the runner gets lifted off the ground by his own teammate, so we need to kill that, right? And then now, but the question to ask that one is, when they assisted him, had the ball already broken the plane or not? If the ball had already broken the plane, then we have a touchdown, right? You wouldn't you wouldn't kill it at all. Yeah. But I'm saying when they assisted him,
That's not a pit ball foul.
no, it's not about, but like question is, when he picks him up and does that, where's the ball at? Has it already crossed or not? If it's already crossed, we don't have anything. Yeah. If he hasn't crossed, then we'll have a foul. And then when you touchdown, and then we have the foul, we go from the half-yard line or wherever he got picked up at. Okay. But yeah, helping the runner is not a dead ball foul. And I didn't mean to insinuate that. So that was number 1. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, that's what we want, right? We want everybody to see that. Okay. I mean, that is. So, where's the spot of the foul at? Where he like 3 yards back, right? And so we would enforce that from the spot of the foul in this case, right? So again, you see the lineman just grab the guy, right? You can't do that. You just can't do that. And just, I don't know. And this is Mr. Hightower's. He stayed up. But we'll see the another view on this one. But I mean, again, it's direct aid to the runner. And you'll see the lineman, the offensive lineman, just push him through. Basically, it allows him to break all the tackles. No, yeah, I think he stays up. Yeah, that right there. You see that lineman kind of grabbing, kind of escorting him through the pile there, you know? Yeah. But yeah, so that's helping the runner, you know? I mean, so although we see it a lot at the goal line, it doesn't have to be at the goal line. There, right there. So he grabbed and just kind of keeps pushing him through the hole there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, but yeah. So I mean that's helping the runner. Care about the post game videos.
I think that's on Twitter too.
All right, you guys can play that.
Wow.
So again, here's another one where like again 63, I think it is, or 53, just kind of grabs the guy and pushes him forward, right? Pulls him forward. So the guys blocking on the back, pushing the backside of the pile, that's one thing. But when you grab the runner and you pull him, yeah, I mean that's.
Huh.
It's like I'm blocking this guy. I'm just gonna get a bunch of them. You know, I'm gonna pull yeah, I'm pulling all of them down. You know, yeah. So you just can't. Yeah, come here. Come here. Yeah, I mean, it just, you know. Nah, it really would have been funny if he'd stripped the runner of the ball and pulled it out. That would have been good. Hurdling. Are we seeing more of this now? Yes. So a hurdle is a player attempts to jump with one or both feet over an opponent who is only contacting the ground with the feet. All right.
Got to turn it. The guy had his hand.
So that's the question, right? What the defender, right? Because it's based on the position of the defender. You have to know, is he have one hand on the ground? Is he kind of diving down on his feet? You know, that's the judgment you have to know. You have to know the defender, not the runner per se. All right. You may see the runner do something that looks like a hurdle. That in and of itself is not a foul. It only becomes a foul if he's jumping over an opponent who's contacting the ground with no other body part other than his feet. So like this one. So that's not a hurdle. I mean, it's a hurdle, but it's not a foul. All right. Okay. He jumps over the defender, but there's no foul there because the defender is that. Okay. I mean, that's not what we're looking for with this. And it's not just the runner that does this, right?
That wasn't hurdle.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah. He's got to lead with his knee or foot. No, if he leads with his arms. That's not by definition.
Watch it. Watch it again. Watch it again. Watch it again. Yeah, his feet are in front. Yeah, yeah. This was also good too, by the way. So back judges, line judges, look up and see it, right, please. It was good. Yeah, but yeah, what? So a hurdle. So he's got a foot in front, right? That's all he's got to do. And then he jumps over the snap. He hurdles the snapper. All right. Okay. All right.
Storm. Storm.
Yeah. So that and so they ruled this no good. So we should have had what? A half the distance. Replay that down. I don't know if it was a try or what. I'm not sure what it was. But yeah. Yeah, when the ball boy is picking the ball up here.
Between the shadows.
Just. All right, so face mask. So there's two types of face mask fouls, right? We have a 5-yarder, which is just the grab. And then we have the 15-yarder, which is the grab and restrict. Okay. Now, it's more than just the face mask, right? We've got the helmet opening. And we got the chin straps. We've got the tooth and mouth protector. All right, one. Tooth and mouth protector, right? Okay, remember one. You only have one. All right. So you've got two, right? So there's two options on the foul, and then there's multiple areas of the face mask, including the back of the helmet, right? You get the back of the helmet. So, yeah. So it's not just the face mask. So as you can see by the screenshot here. So the 5-yarder is for what part of the helmet? The face mask. Yeah. Everything else, 15. Yeah.
Didn't know that. That's good.
So you got the helmet, you got the opening there, right? Yeah. I don't know how he didn't break his finger. Yeah. But if you think about it, you grab that ear hole and you're pulling like this, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're pulling like that. I mean, that's a very vulnerable position right there to be in.
So for Coach August that he does, he's getting restricted.
I'm telling you, the 5-yarders for just to grab that face mask. Everything else, I'm going to get the 15-yarders on.
I didn't know.
Because again, safety stuff, right?
Ooh.
All right, so this is an interesting one, right? We'll get a helmet popping off. Got a runner. All right, we get that pull. So is this a dead ball when that helmet gets loose? No, right? Because it's got to be completely off. Are you going to force this kid to sit out or down? No, because you're going to say the foul caused the helmet to come off. All right. So the helmet came off from the big hit, but the helmet was loose because it got ripped off of his head, basically. All right. And he's trying to like grab it. He's like, oh, this is not good. And then he gets hit. All right. It's borderline. But I don't think you're going to get that because there's so much else going on that. I just don't think you're going to get that tackle. Yeah. Horse collar. So we have to grab the inside, back, or side, right? Or the nameplate area. Okay, so we've added that. Or the pads and jersey. You have to pull the runner down to the ground backwards or sideways. And still a foul if the runner loses possession. Because if I fumble, I'm no longer what? A runner. So this is kind of an exception to that, right? All right. And this is a live ball foul. So, which means this can start in the field of play. We go out of bounds. I get pulled down. It's still a live ball foul. All right. Because you've got to grab and then you've got to pull. All right. So I can grab in the field of play and Sam's bigger than me. So he's going to drag me out of bounds like a truck pull. And eventually I'm going to fall and I'm going to get him down. Right. Okay. It may be 2-3 yards out of bounds when I pull him down, but I'm going to get him down. And if I pull him backwards, then it's a foul. But it got to have to be pulled backward. Now I can grab Sam, right? and I can hold him up and then I can let go. That's not a foul. It's only a foul when I get pulled backwards or sidewards.
Grab it. Oh.
All right, so here's a couple of plays here. Horse collar or no horse collar?
No.
So yeah, so he got grabbed by the horse collar. We agree with that. But he did not do what? Backwards or sideways. He fell forward, right? So there's no foul on that. But everybody's gonna be screaming about it. Yeah. But it's not a foul. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually in bounds on this one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's
Yes.
yes. Now, he's a quarterback. I don't care. He didn't throw the ball, right?
No, he's just running.
He's a runner. So this is not roughing the passer. We're gonna go 15 from where? Previous spot, but it's not a automatic first down. It's not an automatic first down. I thought he was still in the pocket.
Oh, it's such a shame.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's still. So what, the 39. He's at the 36. Yeah.
John, you just tell me, I'll take care of it.
No.
All right. So again, he was grabbed, right? And so it's easy. You see the grab and you start throwing your flag, right? Oh, I got something. But you got to wait, right? You got to wait because he grabs him and then he falls forward. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Everybody's gonna scream. Oh, yeah.
That was sudden.
That was sideward. Yeah, right. Yeah. So from the drone shot, so he got him from the back and got sideways. So who's going to get this?
Maybe the R.
So the
R's got the runner about.
He does. So we're snapping it. Let's say the 22, the 23. You're going to let him go by. Yeah, you probably should get that. And definitely, you got nothing else, right? There's nobody over there. There's no blocking. There's nothing, right? Yeah. Yeah. So no. But and again, why is this the rule in place? Safety issue, right? Safety issue. So we need to keep that in mind too, that we're going to err on the side of the safety problems. Okay. All right. So he pulled down by the horse collar. Okay. And did he throw the ball? Legally, did he throw the ball? No. He threw a pass, right? But was it a legal pass?
Well, he's the pass is beyond.
No, he's behind. He's close.
Why is it?
Depends on the cues.
Did he go beyond?
So let's go back and see where the line of scrimmage.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it, it's hand lines right there.
Alright.
Gotcha.
All right. So yeah, we have to go back here.
Yeah.
So the line of scrimmage is there. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
All right, who's Ricky? Stop. Hey, Ricky Moy, stop drawing on my PowerPoint. All right, so he threw that, right? He didn't just lose possession. He didn't fumble. He threw that, right? So what do we have on this play? We have 2 fouls. Okay. Foul number 1, a horse collar. And because he's still considered a runner, right? Even though the ball, he let go of the ball, right? He's still considered a runner. So it's still treated as a live ball foul. against the runner, and then we have an illegal forward pass.
What makes it illegal for a pass?
The line of scrimmage is right here,
Right about-
and they hit this guy right here. Yeah, the line of scrimmage is right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. It's kind of the box man's kind of the line of scrimmage is going to be the what, the 36th? Yeah, yeah,
He gets to go.
and it hits this guy right here.
Well, he's outside.
He's outside. That's not the problem. The problem is the ball never got to the extended line of scrimmage. Yeah, the ball's right there. Yeah, yeah, I know. So, yeah, so you got 2 fouls on this play. All right, so he's still in bounds.
Oh, so it might have been- No, it's close. It's close.
So he's in bounds, and then the ball's out. Yeah, I think his foot's still up. Yeah,
But Karen, who's gonna make the rule?
So who's gonna know if he's out of bounds or not? It's gonna be the wing guy.
I'm playing enough.
The referee is gonna see this because he's your passer. I mean, you're gonna see that, right? So the referee's got this. So the question is, if you're gonna rule him out of bounds
He's got one.
and he still has possession of the ball, now we're gonna go 15 from the previous spot. If you're gonna say he threw that, now I've got to come back and say, oh, that's an illegal forward pass, and get that too. And then so they offset. Yeah. So what I've got to know from my wing guy is, was he in bounds or out of bounds when he released that ball? And then where did it go? Yeah. Because I'm not going to see where the ball went because I am locked in on this. So I need to know where the ball went. I need to know when he released it, was he in bounds or out of bounds? Yeah. Ricky, you need to get rid of that. I can't get rid of it.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Ricky.
Deduction of cooperation.
All right. So,
Yeah. No.
Oh, you got to throw it to the ground. He did.
so he gets grabbed inbounds. He lets him go, and then they kind of falls. So the thing you have to determine is, was the pull what caused him to fall, or did he trip over the guy's feet? Okay, he tripped over his feet. All right. So you got to let the whole thing play out. All right. So, but yeah, you have to keep watching this, right? Because he gets grabbed in bounds. So you got the dead ball spot, you got out of bounds stuff, and then he lets go, and then they kind of just fall. All right. I don't know, Skip. I don't know. I don't know. Has nothing to do with the play. All right, tripping. Tripping is defined as intentionally using the lower leg or foot to obstruct an opponent below the knee. So it has to be what? Intentional. Okay. And this includes the runner. All right. So you can't trip the runner anymore. All right. All right. I think the screenshot gives this away. Whoop. Yeah. So you can't do that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you'd held him, it would have been tripped. So, So, all right. So this is how many yards is this? 15. We're going to go from where? Right, but we're first and goal. So we're going to go half the distance, right? And replay the down. Yep. So you'll see it there. And where else will we see tripping at? Who's notorious for trying to subtly trip people? Offensive linemen. Whoop. I'm going to try to block down, and the defender's going to go around me. So what am I going to do with my leg? I'm going to kick it out. I'm going to kick it out. Yep. So we'll watch another angle of this one. So watch the left tackle. Oop. I got beat. Yeah, I got beat. So I'm gonna go to the ground and I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll and lift my leg. Roll and lift my leg. And they're doing more and more of this. They are doing more and more of this because they're getting beat by the speed of the defensive ends. Yeah, he knows he did it. Yeah, here's another view of it. So these are hard to get, right? These are hard for us to get. It's like one of those, like, oh, I might have been a trip. I'm gonna miss that. Let me watch him some more. Some of the first ones are hard to get. All right, are y'all ready again?
Oh, it's a different one.
It's a continuation of the same one.
But, okay.
All right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Multi-select. When a player gives a valid fair catch signal, which of the following occurs?
Oh, yeah.
So, when a player gives a valid fair catch signal, which of the following occurs? Does the ball remain live?
No.
No. Is the player protected from is the player protected from being contacted until the kick is caught? No, he's already protected, right? The kick protects him, right? Is the player protected from being contacted until the kick ends?
No.
No. Is he protected from being contacted until the kick is touched? Yes, touched is a key, right? So if the receiver, if it hits off his shoulder pad, he gives a signal, he hits off his shoulder pad, can now he be contacted?
Yeah.
Has to be legal, right? All right, but I can wrap him up, hit him, knock him away from the ball, right? And then my teammate falls on it. Whose ball is it? It's Case. Case, yeah.
When a player gives a valid back, it's, which is funny, does the ball remain alive? Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Why wouldn't it remain?
Oh, I mean, after it's called, after the kick ends. Yeah.
Well, you questions like this.
Yeah,
right? We
yeah.
discuss-
And a player may not advance if our player secures possession of the kick, the down is what?
Oh.
Ends.
Yes.
Yes.
DRT.
So that was a good point.
True or false?
I would assume that
An illegal fair catch signal occurs after the kick ends. True or false?
Well, yes.
Oh. Illegal. So an illegal fair catch signal means what?
Runner and you get
The runner did it. And for him to be the runner, that means the kick has ended. Right? So an illegal fair catch signal occurs after the kick has been caught or recovered. Yes.
That'd be by the run.
Yes. Yeah. And does it end the down? No, you just ignore it, right? Yeah. You just ignore it. Yeah, there's a flag.
That's how I read that. If I throw that illegal fair catch signal after the kick ends, who cares?
Right. So it's a foul, but it's nothing. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Foul, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. One more. Which actions during a down are not considered when determining if a new series will be awarded? Okay, so what actions during a down are not considered when determining if a new series will be awarded? So non-player fouls, right? Because those are going to be enforced from the unsportsmanlike fouls. because those are going to be enforced from the right. A live ball foul. Well, obviously, we consider that, right? Yeah. Recovery of a fumble in the field of play on 4th down. Do we consider that, right? We don't go back to the spot of the fumble if it's recovered in the field of play. If it goes out of bounds, then we do go back. But you can on 4th and 3, they can, if they gain 2 yards, fumble, and then their offensive lineman happens to fall on it 2 more yards downfield, they get that. They get that. Yes. Yeah. True or false? A series can only start on 1st down.
John, how much money have you collected?
Okay. I really hope somebody just hit the wrong button. So we can only start a series on 1st down. So if you have a foul following a change of possession, or let's say you get an illegal forward pass or illegal forward handing, 15, 20 yards past the line to gain, then when you enforce that foul, even though there's a loss of down, we have to ignore that, right? Because we're always going to start on 1st down. Okay. All right, we got a couple more slides, and we'll be done for the day.
Oh, she's got some more to do that.
Yeah, that's all the questions for the day. And so, in each Tuesday, I'm putting the whole thing out there, so you can just click on it and take it during the week. The same questions. I'll increase the time frame on them. Intentional contact with an official. All right, so no player or non-player shall intentionally contact an official. If you do that, it's 15 yards, basic spot, and ejection. All right, so that's pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Unintentional non-player contact with an official. All right, the first offense is a charge to the. Okay. The second offense is charged to the coach, and the head coach is then ejected. Okay. And these are non-players, right? So we're going to go from what spot? Seating spot. Okay. So non-contact by non-player. So we've talked about contact, right? Now, first offense. Sideline warning, right? Signal 15. Second offense. Dead ball. Sideline interference. How many yards is it? 5. Enforced from the sitting spot, right? Third offense. 15 yards, the seating spot. All right?
Wait a second, hold on. For non-contact.
Yeah.
By non-player.
Yeah.
So a guy being in the restricted area, that's
Yeah.
dead ball signal.
15 yards.
It's supposed to be the signal. Now, I don't do it as a dead ball signal, but the book has a signal 7, 29, 27. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. No. And then, so the third offense, 15, to seating spot, and that's charged to who? A coach. Because if they do it again, head coach is gone, right? Okay. All right. Unsportsmanlike charge to the head coach. We do not combine these. So we have the unintentional non-player contact, personal fouls assigned to the head coach, right? Those are not combined with non-player, non-contact, unsportsmanlike fouls for injection purposes. So let's say in the first quarter, Allen runs into a coach, all right? That head coach gets hit with 1, and then that's also their sideline warning, all right? And then in the third quarter, you get the 5-yarder for being, for non-player, non-contact. And then in the fourth quarter, you get the 15-yarder non-player, non-contact. Those don't pair to eject the coach. You still got one more, okay? You got one or the other, all right? But those do not pair, all right?
Or like Allen he runs into somebody, that's that one, and then in the third quarter, that coach tells Allen some bad things. I was like, nope, I ain't taking that. That was, again, that's not.
Yep.
Those aren't fair.
Those aren't fair. And if it's bad enough, he can go in the first one, yeah, if it's bad enough, yeah. So don't think they automatically get two, okay? But you just have to keep track of which ones are which, all right?
That's really three categories.
Mm-hmm, yep. So we got an official picking himself up off the ground. Well, that's never a good sign, right? Okay. And so he can't be there, right? And so that's unintentional, right? As far as we know, it's unintentional. Okay. All right. So that's 15 yards. It's a sitting spot charged to the head coach, not that coach. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So line, we're not running around coaches, right?
No.
Not going to do that. We own that spot. That is ours. That's ours. Okay. And if you're going to run around him, don't run further into the team box. Okay. Go into the field of play to do it. All right. But we get that. And that's for our safety and their safety. So the kick is, so first of all right, he's the line judge. So he needs to take off when? As soon as the snap is what? As soon as you see a good snap, right? You go, right? Yeah. And by take off.
You mean run?
Yeah.
Should have been down.
Yes. Because he's got to do what? So the back judge. So the back judge has got all of this here, right? He needs help with what? All of this here. All that here. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we don't let him do that. That's a 5-8. Now, here's the opposite of that. Okay. So we're down towards the goal line, right? What happens on the team boxes when we're down towards the goal lines? They want to see what's happening, right? Are they bothering anybody?
No.
Okay. When we're down towards the goal line, what happens to the team boxes? They kind of expand out a little bit. They're kind of looking around. They want to see, right? Okay. Yeah.
You go down.
All right. So he gets there. He's in good position. All right. Good position there. Turns.
Down.
First of all, right, the play is over with.
Yes.
It's ended. So can now they be in the restricted area?
Yes.
Yes. So can you prove that they were in the restricted area before that pass was incomplete?
If you're doing your job.
If you know that, are you right? Yeah. Are you not in the right spot? Right. You're not in the right spot. Okay. All right. So we're at the 10. Well, hold on. We're at the 10-yard line, right? So what are the mechanics here for the wing officials? 5 to 10 yard line. You want to stay what? Slightly ahead, right? But he's going to read pass, right? He's going to read pass, so he's going to drift. He stays on the sideline. He's in good position on this play, I think. I think he does a good job with this. Yeah.
They've been crowding him all night, so that's why he threw the flag.
So he's good here, right? This is good. He's in great position. Pass is incomplete. And then
Missile.
use a little bit of common sense here, okay? All right. Lose a little bit and then common sense there on this one. We're in the first quarter with 6 minutes to go. We haven't been 6 minutes into the game yet. Yeah. So So they're
Yeah.
That- use some common sense on these, okay? Because you know what he's done now for the rest of that game? He has made his job a lot harder on that sideline. He still has
Yeah.
no Charlie's on the other side. Yeah, this is York on the side. But now for the next 3.5 quarters, he has now created that environment for those coaches. For those coaches. So. All he had to do was wait till they got closer to the middle of the field and then get them. Yeah.
Get this sideline on that way.
Yeah, but yeah, to turn your flag, if you have to turn it and fire it 20 yards upfield, think about it before you do that.
It was kind of accurate. It bounced right in.
All right, here's the last one.
Uh-oh.
We got a nice long run.
Whoa, he got a little bit too.
So what is that?
That's illegal.
It's unintentional, right? It's a non-player. Okay. It's on a scoring play. All right. It's against the offense. So defense has what? Options. And they would be what? On the try or subsequent kickoff. So if this was the last play of the first half, they get both options, right? If this was the last play of the fourth quarter to put the offense now down by 1 point, they only have the try. If this was the last play of the fourth quarter and this 6 points tied the game, they still only get it on the try because there is no subsequent kickoff. All right. Any questions about that?
How about that? Got one question. On the sideline, the coach uses profanity, and the assistant coach uses profanity, and you get him unsportsmanlike. Is that on the head coach? That's on that coach.
It's on the head coach.
On that coach.
Head coach is responsible for sidelines.
Coupled with anything else.
No. Now, you could eject it. You could eject the assistant, but it's still on the head coach. Yeah.
But you have to have two on him.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
So if you were like skipping on this game and you had your wing plop through the photographer. On the side.
Well, wait a second. He had a fair warning.
You did? Boy,
He did have a
didn't
warning.
get back over.
And those parents, those moms didn't like that.
He didn't move to the other sideline.
That's game management. Yeah, that's all game management stuff, Yeah. All right, guys. So no meeting Monday because for Memorial Day. So our next meeting,
Reiterate that.
nope,
Here you just say it.
no meeting on next Monday. And then the Monday, the June 1st, it's going to be at the high school league. Okay. All right. And Dave and Sam they already know how to break into the high school league. They already know how to make sure the alarm doesn't work. So we have covered the bases with the high school league. So, but yeah, so no meeting Monday night. And then we meet again on the 1st. Now, this coming Thursday, we're at River Bluff, on the 21st. And then on the 28th, we are back at the high school league. Okay. Any questions about anything? No? All right. Y'all have a good night.